Alright, I went and played in a summer skirmish yesterday over at Fun Collector in Orem, Utah. Shout out that store. They made the event great. The owners are great. The people that run the events are great. Like, shout out you guys. You made the event awesome. And double shout out for letting us stay till 1 in the morning to play out finals. Um, like, like you guys didn't have to let us play top 8, and you did, and I really appreciate you guys. So shout out Fun Collector in Orem, Utah. If you are looking for a solid locals in Utah to go play Riftbound, I highly recommend Fun Collector. Go check them out. Um, and as you can see, I ended up winning the skirmish. Got the champion Atlas mat. And then I got the World Atlas promo to match it. The Edge of Night for top 8. And then the champion Edge of Night for first place, which is going to have a nice home in my mid-range Draven, um, this is just a one-of, so it's going to be a nice flex. But the deck that I played for the event was Miracle Draven. This deck is absurd. You play in basically any rogue deck, it's like 70-30. 70% is in your favor. Like, rogue decks just can't keep up. Unless they are all spells and they have removal every single turn to remove your units, they can't keep up. Like it's not realistic. Um and people think the solution to this deck is Imperial Decree Bellows Breath. Not if you play the deck correctly. If you are playing against blue yellow, the immediate instinct is cool. They will have Imperial Decree, Bellows Breath in their deck. I need to play around it. And all you have to do is just not full commit your units and just play more Bushwhack. That's the solution. That's how you beat it. So if you're struggling into it, just play more copies of Bushwhack and don't commit all your units on your combo turn. Hold units back. Play just enough to score points and get yourself to 6. Once you're on 6, you just say, cool, Bushwhack, dump the rest of my units, and I'm going to go and score and win the game. But yeah, like, the only difficult matchups for this deck are mid-range Draven, just because their combat tricks can push them just above you. Because you can dump units, but they can make their units huge, which is hard. And then Aurelia, just because of how, if she holds enough combat tricks, you commit your board, she can just clear them all just with enough pump spells. So yeah, but with to get into the list, obviously Red Draven. You're never playing the purple one. Battlefields, Obelisk for going second. Zonwarns as your go first battlefield. And then Targon's Peak was my blind. I wish this was Sunken Temple. I only played on this battlefield twice because there were only 2 rounds that I went to game 3. Yeah. That was round 4, the last round of Swiss, and then top 4. And this basically did nothing for me. There was one instance where I was able to fight or flight my unit and win fight or flight their unit and win a combat, but I really didn't need to do it. Like, it was overkill. And I wish this was Sunken Temple because it's just more card draw. So if you end up losing game 1, instead of going Obelisk and making your opponents go second even better, and if they play an Obelisk of their own, then they go really crazy. You play Sunken Temple, so you go Zon, Sunken, Obelisk. If you lose game 1 on Zon, because then the Sunken Temple is more consistency for you, and you usually will be able to go and conquer in there because most of your deck is mighty units. And if your opponent decides to go there and just hold, and you send the Red Draven in and pump them, that's another mighty unit. So I think Sunken Temple over Targon's is correct, and I'm going to make that change. Rune Split, 4 and 8. This felt great. You need more purple than you need red, for the singular reason that on your combo turns you can be at 9 runes, and you need most of it to be purple, just because you're paying with Nocturnes, Rossas, Seals, Ezreals, Fizz. Like, most of your deck is purple. The only red I have is Piercing Light, Falling Star, and Bushwhack, and Red Draven. But if you know you need to play those cards, you just hold these runes. And you just be smart with them. For main board, the only 2-drop I play was Traveling Merchant, because you just need cards. I was playing Treasure Hunter for a little bit. I didn't mind it, but the gold really isn't necessary. I think it's more necessary in the mid-range build, just because you are playing a lot of hidden cards, and you're playing a bunch of Rebuke, Switcheroos, Spinning Axes, and stuff, and being able to circumvent the power cost with gold in that deck, I think is a lot better than in this deck. So I just played this, just because you just need your turn 1 play, and then beyond that, it's not super necessary to see him. And then we play Double Fizz. This card's absurd. Being able to play spells out of your trash is crazy. And the other thing that's insane is being able to go, I ended up beating a Lucian player in top 8 with it, going Rebuke, Fizz, Rebuke. Clear both battlefields, double conk win. Like, that actually felt unfair. Like, this card's absurd. It also allows you to just, I see Bushwhack, pitch it, play Fizz, replay Bushwhack, and it's crazy. Triple S, this makes the deck tick. You have to have this card. It makes your called shots insane. It makes your Piercing Lights even better. And this is just how you see cards like this. Play this, pitch Scrap Heap, and draw 3 is just like absurd. Like, it's this card is easily the best card in set 2. And then for your Miracle like cheese units, Noxus, 2 Nocturne, triple Ram, triple Rasa. Rasa and Ram are self-explanatory. You dig through your whole deck, and you just dump these out for free. This is usually the unit you're holding till the end of the game to Bushwhack. You'll just hold these in hand, and then you go Bushwhack, and you go play, 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 and then conquer. So pretty self-explanatory. Battering Ram, you do your combo turn, and you make this hella cheap. Noxus, being able to, like, going second, play Stack Deck into Noxus Hopeful is actually absurd in my opinion. Just because whatever 2-drop they send in, you are basically guaranteed to kill because of this. And they can't really contest you without burning a card, which feels insane. And then Nocturne. Holy Christ, this card was glued to my hand. I maybe played him off of his effect maybe 3 times all tournament. Every other time, he was either discarded or I hard played him because I had no other unit and I didn't have another choice. Like, this guy's glued to my hand. But when he's not glued to your hand and you see him off the top with a cold shot, he feels crazy. Because that's just 4 additional might that has ganking for free. Which is great. But if you draw it, it's not super great. If I could, I would cut him. But he's too good. When you see him off the top of your deck. With a Cold Shutter stack deck. Outside of that, doesn't feel good. Then for gear. Triple Seal of Discord. This is required. Like, you will go down on runes way too quickly if you don't have this. Plus, it forces people deciding gear removal and waste energy that they could be using to deal with your units on this, because this will just get you too much advantage. Like, the amount of times I saw people citing gear removal just to kill seals was actually kind of crazy. And then triple Scrap Heap, because it's just free cards. Like, why wouldn't you want to play an Upstart Goblin? Shout out to my Yu-Gi-Oh players. Like, Discard this off and as draw. Discard off this off as on draw. Discard this off of a traveling merchant draw. Like it's just free cards. Like it's crazy. And then I played double spinning axe. The main purpose of this was to play around cards like Falling Comet and Singularity. Because there are instances that you get to where it's like the only units you have are like a red Draven and like a Ram. And you're like, I need a unit to stick, and Axe lets that happen. Plus, against the decks that like mid-range and stuff, this allows you to equalize somewhat against their combat tricks, because now when they play their axes, you play your own axe and just invalidate their axe, which is super important in that matchup. But there are a lot of like against most rogue decks, I either cited both of these out or just one of them for one of the cards in the sideboard. But this card felt great. And then for the rest of my spells, triple fight or flight, because it's absurd. It's free draws off Draven, and at the end game, if you absolutely need the hold, you just hide it for free. It like great card. Triple stack deck. Triple cold shot, because these make the deck tick. You resolve this plus this. That's you see 7 cards plus 3 off the Ez. If you do that combo, you get 10 cards deep. 11 for the draw for turn. That's crazy. And then for our one-ofs, just 3 of them. Bushwhack MVP. I used to hate this card. I love this card. This card is broken. The amount of games it won me was absurd. Piercing Light. This card was also cracked as hell. The amount of times I was able to just be like, cool, clear your board. This is crazy. And then Rebuke, because it's Rebuke. Like this card needs to be banned. This like Rebuke and Bushwhack, these 2 cards won me most of my games. Like these cards were absurd. That's it for the main. The only change I would make, just because there were instances I got really low in deck and I would have been able to start redigging and setting up more units, because that was one issue I was noticing, is if my opponent had slightly more removal to kill my units, I'd probably lose. And that's cut either a merchant or a scrap heap for a Vi. Because you can Vi Bushwhack and clear huge might battlefields, or you play the Vi and you recycle like all your called shots, all your stack decks, and like a bunch of your units, like Rosses and Nocturnes and stuff, and you just reset up. So going forward, I don't know which one it's gonna be. Probably the scrap heap, because I want more units in the control matchup. But there is an argument to be made to get rid of the merchant. So that is one change I am making. Is cutting the Targons for Sunken, and then cutting one of these for a Vi. And then at that point, I think this list is perfect. I do want to try the Treasure Trove Detonate build. I just had no testing on it, so I didn't play it yesterday. But I call it the Gamba build because you play the Nocturne. I think this build's absurd. And then for your sideboard, just a bunch of one-ups. Burn here. I didn't side this card in a single time. It didn't come up once. Thermal Beam. I sided it in against Lucian, and then a Victor player because he was playing Chemtech Cask, and just generating a crap load of gold and just other things like that. And I was like, I don't want to deal with this. I'm just gonna beam you. I never I didn't draw it, but there was never an instance that would have there's never an instant that would have felt good. So, and then hard bargain. I side this in against the spell decks. This is pretty solid. It feels pretty good being able to do this to like burn runes, because there's a lot of times where there will be like 10 runes up, they play something, and you hard bargain repeat, and they forego making other plays on the turn just so they can make their card resolve. Um, so making your opponent tap out when they don't want to is kind of nice. Invert, this card was great. Every time I saw it, it felt insane because the amount of players that disrespected this card and just said, I'm going to have 15 cards in hand. Anyways, rip your hand, and they just get destroyed. And then it also feels great against Miracle decks when they're trying to sculpt their hand and make it perfect. And then you proceed to go invert. Nice. Your perfect hand is now gone. A second rebuke for Irelia, mid-range Draven, and then like some of the like decks that put really tall units up. Alongside like doing this against Fiora, Lucian, like anything that's just trying to get on the board and just put a big unit and just trying to hold. This just destroys them. A second Bushwhack when I'm against the control decks and I know I'm going to have to rely on this play to get points. It's nice having the second one so you can guarantee seeing it quicker. But sometimes you do need to play 2 copies because you'll play one early to take tempo back. And then Falling Star. So when you're playing against like Rek'Sai, Lucian, Victor, being able to kill like their blue Victor and stuff in the back line, Ezreal, being able to kill their purple Ez and stuff in the back line, and pairing this with Piercing Light feels pretty good. And then last rights for the control decks. So you can just side this in and be like, hey, you're gonna try and make me burn through my units. It's not gonna happen. I'm just gonna keep playing it. I resolved its effect twice. Every other time it got killed by gear removal. So like, it didn't come up all the time, but it still felt really solid. But yeah, deck felt great. The only things I would change is the Vi and the Sunken, but deck felt insane. My matchups, round 1 Lux. Game 1, he had a bunch of removal, and he got a Vanguard armory set up, but I was able to just combo off, and he was only able to Bellows Breath me once, and I reestablished the board. Game 2, he played 2 Progress Stage, drew 12 cards, was digging for Bellows Breath. No joke, all 3 of them were at the bottom of his deck. It was kind of crazy. Round 2 was Teemo. This is actually his girlfriend. So I played the boyfriend and girlfriend back to back. She was on Teemo. The only problem card is Ember Monk, because if they get enough hidden cards, he gets huge. But you just need to see your Falling Star and the what's it called? Falling Star and Piercing Light, and you're chilling in that matchup. And then you also have Fizzes to just repeat them, and that's all you need to do to win that matchup. Ezreal. He wasn't a terrible player, but I could tell he wasn't fully experienced on the deck because there were a lot of times he would just commit his Ez just to score a point, and I would immediately kill it, and then that made my life 10 times easier because all of his repeat cards became twice as bad against me. Well, not twice as bad, but they became worse against me because they just cost more. Round 4 was against another Ezreal. It was against my homie Derek. Stupid close game. Game 1, I went in for the win, and I forgot that he had a Watcher with Arcane Shift. I didn't play around it, and I got blown out. But I think I can win Game 1 if I have a Fight or Flight Rebuke, which I just didn't have. Game 2, he drew all of his removal, burned all his call shots and stack decks, and I played Fizz for invert timelines, ripped his whole hand, and saw most of his removal go, and I was like, oh, I can win this. And then game 3, we went into time. I think if we had more time, I think it would have been a lot better of a game because at the very beginning we were playing stupid fast and doing very suboptimal plays just to score points above the other player. I think if we had more time and could have taken our time, I think it would have been a lot cleaner game 3. But overall, the games felt great. Shout out you, Derek, for making that game just super enjoyable and just making it super fun to be around you. So that's Swiss going into Top Cut. Lucian, this wasn't. I There's nothing to say. Like Lucian's just if you don't see specifically Skyfall, Trinity Force, Relentless Pursuit with an orange Lucian, you just lose. Which I didn't see him have Skyfall or Trinity Force at all in his deck. So I don't even know if he had the combo or not. But he literally game 1 played 4 cards, and game 2 played 5 cards, and the game was over. He basically didn't play, and I kind of felt bad. This Victor player was not the greatest. He was missing a lot of triggers. I was being lenient, being nice because it was late. We were all tired, and I understand. But there were some instances I was like, okay, you got to figure this out. You got to get your triggers under control. But he literally, anytime he saw something, he would just immediately slam it. So, like, I want to say it was a clean game, but it really just felt like, oh, he's just drawing it, and I have to play into it, otherwise I will be too far behind. And yeah, game 1, I was basically just able to keep up with his removal spells. And he didn't draw enough of them. Game 2, he saw all of his Imperial Decrees, all his Bellows Breath. Like, he saw everything. There's just nothing I can do. Plus, my hand was really bad. Like, I drew both my Nocturnes, all 3 of my Rossas. And I didn't see an Ezreal till turn 6, which was awful. I had, like, no card draw. And then game 3, that was the closest game out of all of them. It came down to me having to hold for the last point, because we did end up going into time, and I stacked 4 units. If he had 1 more rune, he clears all 4. He was at 11. I had 4 units. He had enough to kill 3. He couldn't kill the 4th, and I was able to win. But he was a cool dude. I did enjoy talking to him. And he obviously was good enough to get in the top 4. So not to shame that, but yeah. And finals against Rek'Sai. The early game is very bad for you. Just because they play Cold a Week, Falling Star, all this stuff, and they just immediately kill your units. But eventually they run out of card advantage pretty quick. And that can't keep up with the amount of units you dump, and you eventually just get to a point where they don't have enough removal, and you just have to, they just don't have enough removal, and you're able to just play normal Riftbound at that point. Because they're not just every turn going Falling Star, Piercing Light, Cold a Week, Hidden Blade. Like, they're not every single turn killing their stuff. A phenomenal player. Like, he did everything correctly, and he played correct. So props to him. It's just the Rek'Sai's issue. You run out of cards too quickly. You burn your removal, and if they have more units to push past that removal, there's not much you can do. But yeah, that's it for the list. Sorry for the ramble. I really just wanted to make this more informative for people that are looking to get into this. Like, I don't think this is the be-all, end-all sideboard. Like, the things I would keep are for sure these. I don't know what I'd replace Bryn here with yet. I'll probably find something. But if you have the funds and have the ability to play this deck, I highly recommend it. It is a super, super fun time, and I like it a lot. But thanks for watching, you guys. And as always, stay safe and get your game on.